Hello and welcome to Reading Rainbow. I'm not tuneful and I can't even recall how that tune actually goes, but I know that makes sense to some people. I didn't have anything to talk about really this week. There have been no purchases through the door. I was going to show off my Jaws Lego, which is awesome. I think I'm over halfway through, but then I realised with my lack of editing skills and potential poor placement with the phone camera, it wouldn't look as good anyway. Maybe next week I might even get it finished at some point before then. I can show it off. It's really nice. It was a lovely unexpected gift from my partner. I've not done any Lego as an adult, apart from helping my youngest daughter when she had some Harry Potter Lego. So it's not like you could say it's my thing, but Jaws Lego. I mean, as soon as I saw that was announced, I was very keen about it, but I never thought I would actually get it. And now I have. So we shall see. But this week I did just finish reading Heat 2. And I know a lot of people that I know would have already read this or have been wondering about this. So basically, once again, I was at my local library, and I've said many times about my local library. Like, we have hundreds, if not thousands, of books in our home. We are potentially voracious readers. I struggle to make more time for reading now, but my partner can still rattle through a book a day easily enough. When I get in the mood, I can still be a book a day person, and I certainly enjoy that when we're on holidays and relaxing. It's just reading time. But as I've said before, I like to keep my library card active because I like the local library to be able to count one more member. One more member adds numbers to whatever metrics they are being measured by, which helps them sort of defend themselves in the face of many budget and staffing and resource cuts that have happened nationwide. I mean, our local library is only really open a few days a week, but when they are open, they're probably an essential service for some people, and I really appreciate that for those that need it. Librarians are the best. So there. Anyway, getting back to Heat 2, I was wary of this. I'd seen a lot of people excited for it. I think I've seen some praise for it, but I wasn't sure. Heat is a movie that I checked back on my rating review. I gave it 10 out of 10. I think it holds up well. It's a fantastic modern classic. You can agree or disagree with that if you wish, but I think many people would agree with me. So I was worried that, this novel would kind of ruin that. Not ruin a movie specifically, because nothing that comes subsequently from any movie or book that you love ruins that one thing that you loved, even if it's bad. It just feels like it, and it can take away some goodwill and replace it with some ill feeling. So I was very wary. What the story is, though, is there is a journey for a character, or two main characters really, after the events of the film. That is described, that is interesting. It's full of the usual attention to detail and slick professionalism that you've seen in Michael Mann's many films throughout his career. But you also have chapters that go back to 1988. Yes, it is 1988 to 2000 is the time scale. The events of Heat themselves, I think they are 95, 96 in there, maybe a little bit later. So you get a quick recap, the very, very start, very briefest of recaps, and then you start seeing the journey of a couple of characters after that. But it is really good when you go back to an earlier job, earlier adventure for some of these main characters, and they all feel in line with how they were in the movie, and it shows how they really became who they became by the time of Heat and beyond. It kind of helps that there is a shorthand. Like, I couldn't help reading this without envisioning the characters as they were portrayed in the film. So that's a shorthand that works. But other than one or two coincidences too many in the last couple of chapters, say the last like 50 pages or so, it's a great read. Really good, top notch. So it's co-written by Mann and Meg Gardner, and I'm not sure who did the lion's share of the writing. I'm going to say Meg Gardner was the kind of the lead writer, while Michael Mann was the lead person with the outline, the ideas, and the character developments. That's just a wild guess on my part. I've not read anything about the process of writing this. I've read the acknowledgements at the back, and Mann gives a lot of acknowledgements to those around him and everyone who helped get Heat made, and sort of the life that has led to for him that has brought him to this, and the fans of it. Whereas Meg Gardner thanks a lot of the writing people, and thanks Michael Mann for bringing her into that world and letting her work on the story with him. So who knows? Perhaps you know. Perhaps you've read a little bit about the writing process. Perhaps you've read some interviews with Mann or Gardner. Hell, I'll give them equal praise at the moment, and just I just don't want to minimize the potential workload that was put on Meg Gardner, even though it very much feels like a Michael Mann piece. But again, that's very complimentary to Gardner, who's obviously aiming to write in a certain style and keep things in line with what we'd already seen on screen. So that's it. That is Reading Rainbow this week. We don't always have a Reading Rainbow, but this is what we do, and I figured that was good. Next week, maybe Jaws Lego, maybe not, but I might not get around to finish yet. There's a cinema trip planned at the weekend, a potentially odd double bill of Baby Girl and Nosferatu. And with the podcast, we are covering Ricky O, the story of Ricky O, and Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. The latter feels a bit less comedic than it may have in the past, but it's still a film that many regard as a classic. And Ricky O is also regarded as a classic by some in very different ways. So we shall see where the conversation leads us. I hope you enjoyed our David Lynch tribute, our coverage of a few kind of random picks from his filmography. And again, I would apologise to people for myself getting a bit emotional discussing the Straight Story. And I want to reassure you that it wasn't a put on. It wasn't me trying to just have some emotional affectation while we're discussing Lynch like that. It was just unexpected how that film hit me when I was discussing it after the fact, and that's happened now and again, but not usually while I'm in the middle of recording a podcast discussing my thoughts on a film. So I was a tiny bit embarrassed, and I wasn't sure if Dave and Tyler realised that I was genuinely welling up with emotion there, because we're that used to just gently mocking one another and having fun when we discuss the movies. But I feel that we did right by Lynch, and I hope others agree. That's it. Until next time, bye.